So we have another interesting question here to solve. An object of mass 20 kg is released from a height of 10 meters above the ground level. The kinetic energy of the object just before it hit the ground is... Now, how do you solve a question of this nature? Firstly, you know that kinetic energy, which is Ke, is given as 1 all over 2 mass times velocity squared. But from the data you have been given, you have mass, but you don't know what is velocity. And from the data given, there's no thing like velocity there. So how do you solve this question? So you have to understand what is happening in the question set before you even start to solve it. They say an object of mass 20 kg is released from a height of 10 meters above the ground. The kinetic energy of the object before it hit the ground is... To solve this question, you can easily relate potential energy to kinetic energy. Remember, if something is stationary, by the time it starts moving, from the law of conservation of momentum, the potential energy will turn to the kinetic energy, will be equal to the kinetic energy. Is that clear? So from that potential energy, the energy will be converted to kinetic energy. Just before it, remember the question says just before it hit the ground, before that impact of hitting the ground. First, the kinetic energy, the potential energy is going to turn to kinetic energy. So to solve this question, relate kinetic energy and potential energy. Then you will know how to find the answer to this. So remember, potential energy, which is given as PE, okay? I know potential energy is given as what? Mass times acceleration due to gravity times height. So this potential energy is equal to the kinetic energy, and the kinetic energy is what? 1 all over 2 mv squared. So that means the potential energy, which is given as this, is equal to the what? Kinetic energy. So this is kinetic energy, Ke. So from this indication, we can now say that kinetic energy, since you say this is kinetic energy, is equal to what? Mass times acceleration due to gravity times height. So kinetic energy is the same thing as the potential energy. This is the potential energy. Okay? So from here, that is, let me rewrite it here for clear view. So K, kinetic energy is equal to the same thing as the potential energy. Now, from the data you have been given, you have what is our mass? The same mass is what? 20. So that means kinetic energy is mass, which is 20 kg. Acceleration due to gravity, if you look at it, they say we should take g to be 10. It's a constant. The acceleration to gravity is 10. So we say times 10 times what is our height? They say the height is what? 10 meters, so times 10 again. So now that means our kinetic energy will be equals to, so you have 20 times 10 times 10. 20 times 10 times 10 will give you what? 2000. And the unit of kinetic energy is the joule, which is represented by letter J. So this is our final answer. So from the option now, you have to look which one has 2000, which is option C. So this says that this is our correct answer.